President Trump and I had very different styles, but for all of those 4 years, we had a strong working relationship.
President Trump reposted messages on the social networks calling for Democratic lawmakers to be executed. What do you make of that?
Well, I spent 4 years explaining what President Trump meant, so I'll leave it to the White House to explain what his intentions were there.
But you can judge what he wrote.
Look, I honestly believe the American people long for us to restore a threshold of civility in public life.
Why is it so hard to condemn a president who calls for executing, even though he probably doesn't mean it, of his political opponents?
Well, Well, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. As I said, I spent 4 years explaining what the president meant about issues. I'll let his people do that now.
But the question many people have, again, getting back to your White House years, if you're so in favor of speaking with moral clarity, why didn't you speak out more when President Trump called journalists human scum, when he spoke about white supremacists calling them good people, when he called African nations shithole countries? We never heard you. You stood there, but you've never spoken out against him publicly. I'm just wondering why that is.
Well, when I accepted the role as vice president, I promised the president that he would get the full force of my opinions. But I always thought it was important as a vice president to offer that in private.
But if you don't speak out publicly, you normalize the kind of behavior that you as a Christian, as a principled person, obviously does not condone.
Well, I appreciate your perspective. I just don't share it. Honestly.
You can just let it go.
Oh, look, the American people get to choose the American president. And my job as vice president was to help Donald Trump be successful in the presidency that he had been elected to advance.